Good morning, great Americans. It is another great American video. Um, I was I'm a little late coming into this topic because I was studiously avoiding making a video. I'm not quite sure why. If you look at my other videos and my article about the war on children, people know that the war on children by the left is one of my pet issues. Frankly, I've said it many times and I'm just totally dumbfounded. I don't get it, but I don't understand why the left's war on children and their destruction of children and their sexualization of children and their mutilation now of children with this genital mutilating surgery that they euphemistically call gender affirmation care, which is it's like Nazis saying Arbeit macht frei. They put a colorful word on an evil thing. Why this is not the number one issue in America that motivates voters and puts every Democrat or puts the people associated with it all in prison, I don't know. I don't understand it. This should be the left's war on children should be the number one issue in America, especially with parents and who have kids in schools where this stuff is going on. I don't know. And so I was afraid if I made this video, I might get too wrapped up in it and lose focus of the issue. But I tell you what, I was watching Matt Walsh yesterday, and he played a clip of that idiot, that complete moron idiot, Jen Psaki, Mrs. Circle Back Around, uh, on her show, and I lost it, man. I could have if I could have reached through my television screen and grabbed her by the throat and ripped it out, I would have. That's how bad her. I mean, it. I can't think. Now, I have been amazed at how low into the gutter and the filth and the evil that the Democrats and the left have gone, especially on this topic. But I can't imagine anyone going any lower and any deeper and any more filthy than she did the other day on her broadcast. So, first of all, she was crying, which was totally fake. Okay, the Democrats are the party that murder children by the millions through abortion, and they also are the party that turns a blind eye to child labor and child trafficking by leaving the borders open. They left the borders open, and just all kinds of horrible child trafficking stuff was going on. I mean, we focus on the illegal aliens here in America, like, gobbling up the services and messing up the cities and all that. But there was this whole other thing going on too with the child trafficking and all that. Um, so they turn a blind eye to that. They don't give a shit about children. And this woman is crying for children who she actually hates. Catholic children in prayer. So there are so many facets to what is going on here. I'm afraid I hope I don't miss one of them because it's just so disgusting and so offensive. So, first of all, these are kids praying, okay? One of the most beautiful, wonderful things that you can see when you observe the human race is a child in prayer to their creator, to God. I mean, God loves that. If there's anything God loves is a child praying to him. I mean, that's just like the most beautiful thing there is. And this sick, filthy, tranny degenerate goes in and shoots him up. Now, so first of all, like I said, Pesaki is crying throughout her whole rant, which was just totally fake tears, right? She doesn't give a shit about these Catholic children who are in prayer, all right? So Let's get that straight. Second of all, she did what many, many other leftists and Democrats have been doing the last couple of days, and that is mocking prayer. And when you mock prayer, you're essentially mocking religion, you're mocking God, you're mocking the whole thing, right? And by the way, as a side note, I hope that all the black churches who support Democrats took. I hope you guys, African Americans who have churches who support Democrats, I hope you're taking note these last couple of days of how the Democrats mock prayer, make fun of prayer, make fun of God, and support abominations of God. I hope you guys are taking note of that. But anyway, that's a side note. I'm digressing. So anyway, she was crying to fake crocodile tears. She was mocking God and mocking prayer. 3, we can add on to that by mocking prayer, she was literally mocking the children who got shot, because the children who got shot were in prayer when they got shot. Now, I don't know if this was just sheer stupidity on her part, or you see, when you're evil and you promote so many evil things and you cover it up with so many lies, eventually the lies catch up with you, and they all start conflicting with each other. So she's crying for these children, but she's mocking prayer and seems to forget that the children were actually Catholic children who were praying when they got shot. So she's mocking the children, the same children she's supposedly crying for. So that's 3. Now let's move on to the big kahuna. 4. This shooter is sick in the head. How do we know this shooter is sick in the head? Because it's tranny. It's a transgender. Transgenders suffer from a mental illness. It's as simple as that. Democrats and the left promote and defend transgenders, and we're going to get to that in a minute. The mayor, who was this guy? I'm sorry, hold on just a second. I closed my website page. Anyway, the mayor of I'll come up with Jacob Fry. We're going to get to that in a minute. Jacob Fry and Tampon Tim and all these other idiots. But anyway, so the Democrats promote and defend these sick people in the head, and meanwhile, the statistics are building up more and more and more with every mass shooting, that these transgenders are out murdering people. And I might also add, not only are they out killing people because they're fucked up in the head, they're also killing themselves. The suicide rate among transgenders is off the charts compared to normal people. Why? Because they're mentally ill and they've got problems. I'm not a psychiatrist, so, but it's pretty obvious that there's conflict going on up in their noggins, right? They're suffering from a mental disease. They don't know what their gender is. The Democrats and the left and the society are telling them that they're okay, but something deep down inside them is telling them they're not okay. And their head is probably all fucked up, and some of them snap. And some of them snap and they go on mass shootings. And some of them snap and they kill themselves because they can't, some people can't handle serious inner conflict and inner turmoil within themselves can lead to suicide. So it is actually the irony here, and the sad thing, and the thing that pisses me off, is that the blood of these children and the blood of the other shooting victims of all the other times that these trannies have gone on a shooting rampage, and the blood of the trannies themselves who commit suicide, all that blood is on the hands of the Democrats and the left and this fucking bitch, Jen Psaki, who is sitting there crying on TV pretending she gave a damn. And now, if that isn't enough to piss you off, I think I'm up to 4. Here's number 5, a little extra bonus on the big kahuna. This piece of shit, the mayor of Jacob Fry, Minneapolis mayor, and also Tampon Tim and the others. Oh, and Jen Psaki too. This was something else she said while she was crying. They had the nerve and the audacity to claim that people who are focusing on the mental illness of these transgenders are taking their, quote, eye off of the ball. The real ball is gun violence. The real problem is guns in our society. The problem is not these mentally ill, sick, degenerate transgenders. Oh, they're good people. We have to tolerate them. We have to embrace them. That's part of our values, is to welcome the tranny. And when I heard that come out of Jen Psaki's mouth and also this mayor's mouth, that's when I lost my mind, and I wanted to reach through the TV tube and just really rip her through. I mean, thank God I was by myself. I get worked up over some stuff, right? But I'm a pretty mellow dude, right? That one, man. If that doesn't have every American up in arms, because here's the thing: the gun did not shoot itself. The gun did not pull its own trigger. It was the sick, degenerate, mentally ill transgender who pulled the trigger. No, Jen Psaki, and no, Jacob Fry. We are not taking our eyes off the ball by focusing on the transgender and not on the guns. The ball is the transgender. It's people who kill people. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. You know, that sounds like a sort of a snarky saying, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Sounds sort of, like a little slogan, but it's true. People kill people. Before they invented guns, people killed people with swords and bows and arrows and clubs or whatever, right? And then they invented guns and they used guns, but whatever, people kill people. And usually it is evil, sick, demented, mentally ill people who kill people. And nobody fits that bill better than a transgender. I mean, just look at them, man. I mean, the left loves to portray these transgenders who they kind of look cute. Like there's this, I think there was one who won some sort of Miss America, not Miss America, but Miss some country. I forget. Actually, I can't even go there, man. But really, when you see these people, you can see the twisted perversion and degenerate illness in their faces and how they look. And there's something wrong. You can, so that stuff can really come out and twist a person up. But anyway, I'm sort of digressing again. Anyway, so I say again, I just don't get it. But the left's war on children should be the number one issue in America, skyrocketing above all others. And what does that war on children include? Well, for a big it includes a lot of things like child trafficking and all kinds of stuff. My focus has always been the groomers in schools, these sick, a lot of trannies are teachers. Boy, there's a thought for you. How do you like that thought now that you know the statistics are showing that trannies more and more are killers? And you got a lot of these trannies teachers in schools, and they sexualize children. They groom children. Now, I want to be clear. There is a crime called grooming, and that's that's not what I'm talking about. I learned about that at the hard way. But there's a crime called grooming, and that's not quite what I'm talking about. When I talk about groomers in schools, I'm talking about teachers and officials in schools who constantly bombard children with the tranny lifestyle and the homosexual lifestyle, and other stuffs like the pronouns and all that stuff, and they continue to pump it into their heads, pump it into their heads, so that by the time they're adults and they graduate, they think it's normal. This is what I call grooming. A constant a constant exposure, right? A constant exposure to deviant sexual lifestyles, and also they put porn in the schools, which that wonderful group Mom for Liberty try to get rid of the porn in the schools. It's the Democrats are just sick. They're sick in the head, but this has really brought it to a pinnacle. Now, of course, the fake news media, as we see, they tried their best to cover up the nature of this shooter. They tried to focus on guns instead. That's what they always do. The Democrats and the left never want to focus on the real reason for murder. They always use it as an opportunity to take away your constitutional rights to bear arms. As if, as if you pass more gun laws, as if a murderer would actually give a shit. Anybody who's out to shoot up a bunch of Catholic kids doesn't give a shit about any gun law you're going to pass. So that's a whole other thing right there. But so but this anyway, this shooting event has really exposed. Now, unfortunately, if you're a stupid idiot and a moron who watches CNN or NBC or CBS, you're not going to get any of this. You need to watch real news where they're reporting the real facts, and for those of you who are, these last couple of days have exposed how truly evil and sick in the mind that the Democrats are, the left are, the leftist media are. But that song and dance that Jen Psaki put on yesterday, I can't even, I would put a clip in, but I can't do it. I cannot be responsible for, I can't do it. I will put a link in the description of this video to Matt Walsh's show, and you can watch it. And there's a little spot in there where she's crying and lying and crying at the same time. And you can make of it what you will. But the audacity for her to cry for the same children that she's mocking by mocking prayer and mocking God and mocking religion and all these, hey, all over social media and all over the left, they're all on the same page. They're all mocking God, mocking prayer. Oh, prayer doesn't do any good. Well, one person said something like, well, this happened in the church, so obviously God and religion doesn't work, or this wouldn't have happened. What? You know what that's like? That's like saying, well, you know what? There's medicine and doctors in hospitals, but the hospitals are still full of sick people. So I guess doctors and medicine are stupid. They don't work. We have doctors, we have medicine, but all kinds of people are sick. So, medicine doesn't work. That's what that's like saying, right? This is stupid. But anyway, so this exposed their evil. They're out there mocking prayer, mocking God. They're trying to cover up the true nature of the evil in these transgenders and trying to instead blame guns as if guns have a mind of their own. And they are also covering up the bigger picture that I said, which is their war on children, which this shines a light on that topic. Oh, I forgot one thing. I was counting off the things that pissed me off, and I got to number 5 and I skipped it. I'm sorry. I one more thing. Um, this Minnesota governor, I'm sorry, this Minneapolis mayor Jacob Fry and Tampon Tim have both gone. Check this out. Have both gone out of their way to pass all kinds of rules and regulations to protect transgenders. But when requests were made of them to deal with the danger to children in school, because this isn't the first time that Catholic kids have gotten shot up, and requests I specifically heard on the radio, gosh, I wish I could remember the source, where apparently requests were repeatedly made to Tampon Tim to do something about protecting the schools, the kids in the schools, in these religious schools, and he ignored them. He didn't give a shit about protecting children in religious schools, but he went out of his way to protect these sick, degenerate, mentally ill transgenders. And the same with this Mayor Jacob Frey. He was out there doing the same thing that Jen Psaki did. It's claiming that by focusing on the transgender, somehow we're being prejudiced and full of hate and stuff, and we really need to focus on the guns. No, we need to focus on the transgender. He's the shooter. He's the shooter. You know, there was a mass shooting maybe like 10 years. I can't remember. I wish I could remember the details of it, but I do remember this. There was this mass shooting about 10 years ago. I forget who it was. And it turned out that the person had been mentally ill and had gone to a counselor several times. And the chit chat among the news and even the fake news too was it was something like, we should be able to see the signs. As a society, when we see someone mentally ill walking around, we should, see the signs and be proactive. And maybe we can prevent some of these mass shootings. Now, this was quite a while ago. This was like I said, maybe 10 years ago, before the whole tranny thing kicked in, right? But like back then, when that shooting happened, the sort of the theme coming out of it was, we need to be more observant and see the signs of mentally ill people and do something about it to try and prevent mass shootings. What happened to that? What happened to that? Now we see mentally ill transgenders and stuff walking around all the time. And nobody gives a shit. And when they do mass shootings, the media and the left want to cover it up. They want to blame the gun. You see the hypocrisy of these people. It reminds me about how it's almost reminiscent of how, like, during the 70s and the 80s, when divorce was a big deal, there were tons and tons and tons and tons. There's endless, doctors' reports and studies and all kinds of stuff done about how divorce is bad and a child needs a mother and a father, because a mother and a father each contribute different stuff to the whole well-being and growth of a child. But when gay marriage became the thing, right? You notice how all those studies sort of disappeared? You notice that? happened to all those studies who said that a child needs a father and a mother? Well, they conflict with gay marriage, so they had to make all that stuff disappear, and they had to shut those people up. Well, the same thing goes with these mass shootings. It wasn't all that long ago when the theme of the day was be vigilant, keep an eye out for mentally ill people, and maybe we can prevent mass shootings. Now, no, no. You cannot focus on the mentally ill person now. Now you have to blame the gun. Oh, and you're a bad, hateful person if you focus on the mentally ill, sick, degenerate transgender. So that's what was going on yesterday. And just to wrap this up, I'm going a little bit long. Check out that link of the Matt Walsh video that I'm going to put in the description of this video, and see for yourself and just be disgusted, and please be part of raising awareness of the war on children that is waged by the Democrats and the left. There's a good kid, wonderful kid, Robbie Starbuck. He has a video documentary that's actually called The War on Children. I'll put a link to that in the description of this video too. And please subscribe to my Substack page. And that's about it, man. It's just, man. How long do we have to put up with Democrats? When are we going to finally defeat these sick, disgusting people who are destroying the fabric of this nation in every possible way that you can think of, but especially with children? It's horrible. It's horrible. But anyway, I will see you in the next great American video. Adios.